everybody, and welcome to Energetic Principles Monthly Horoscopes for September 2017. My name is Melissa LaFara, and I am an astrologer and tarot reader from San Diego, California. And in this video, we're going to discuss what is in store and what key dates to look for during this September period. So let's get started.
And may the stars be with you.
All right, Capricorn and Capricorn Rising, what does September have in store for you? Well, the sun has moved into Virgo and has been there since August 22nd, so we're a handful of days deep into Virgo now. And so vitality and our overall awareness has spotlighted into a new area. And for you, Capricorn, that has to do with broadening your horizons and getting out of old routines and areas you might be stuck in old patterns that are time to dissolve and you know, go beyond what you've been. So this is all about getting out of your comfort zone. So Caps, how can you get out of your comfort zone this month and try new things and broaden that horizon? You're really going to be gaining understanding and purpose through getting out there more and trying new things. And if you have any travel plans, this is a perfect time to travel and just get out there and see new things and invite freshness and enliven your life. And this is also a time where you can take up a greater education if you need to master something. If you're like, you know, I need to be more educated here, I don't fully understand, or I need this credential and I want other people to respect me. This is a time where you might be taking up higher education as well. And mostly, you know, focusing on that big picture plan and your own life's philosophy. You know, what it is that you believe and what it is that you experience in life and how you understand life, and whether or not you're, you know, essentially your thoughts and your experiences are lining up for the same thing. So you're essentially dedicating yourself this month to breaking out of that shell and maybe bringing in a new spiritual or ritual practice into your life to help you tap into these bigger ideas and these, you know, new understandings and new way of viewing your own life's philosophies. So let's talk about some key dates for September to look out for. And the first is going to be September 5th, when we have Mercury, who is stationing direct at the eclipse point of 28 degrees Leo. And so, you know, we've had that Mercury retrograde process for how many weeks now, and now we're finally going forward and our mind is clearer and we are back on track and energized by this eclipse point and Mars and Uranus, and so we're ready to break out, try new things, and we're energized and our mind is has had its fresh rework at the mechanic in a sense. So for you guys, it's really about, you know, you've been doing a lot of work on getting out there and like expanding your horizons and how can I go further than what I've been. But really this kind of turnaround in Leo is wrapped up on, you know, a clear perception on your own instinctual patterns and your own psychological behavior and emotions. And doing what it takes to make the changes necessary to bring more joy in your life and more happiness and kind of, you know, getting rid of and breaking down things that no longer apply to you in order to become this happier, more fulfilled and more self-expressive person. And so if any of you have had to deal with issues around life and death, or if people have fallen away from your lives, whether it's actual death or figurative death, there's fresh understanding around the changes and transitions that you've been going through now. And so it's also a time for you to really communicate with other people and get out there and ask for the help that is needed, or other people's shared resources to support your own creative vision and how you want to express yourself. So these have all been on the table, as well as intimacy issues and revitalizing your own ability to speak up for yourself and express yourself intimately with another person. So you know, these are not light issues. You know, you're going forward, but you're going forward in these a better place around all these things with new understanding and new ways of being able to express yourself and communicate within these realms. So the next day we're going to talk about is actually the next day, which is September 6th, and we're going to have the full moon at 13 degrees Pisces. And so any full moon you're going to have basically it's a polarity where it apexes these two signs, you know, this full moon opposition, and we have to release something and come to terms with something in a sense. And this particular moon is going to be a breakdown, breakthrough moon, where we are going to be tested and having to break through to something. And for the Capricorns, it's all going to be around your own mind. What's going on in here? I know we just did all this work, right? We did all this work with the mind. But now it's time to see what needs to be released and let go of in the mind, and whether or not our mind is really reflecting what it is that we experience in life. Because if we think one way and then we experience a total other thing, then obviously what our mind was thinking was not right or wasn't accurately portraying what would happen in the outside world. So just know these issues can come up right now, and you might have to sacrifice certain things from your mind, or like tap into how imaginative your mind might be and how that might work against you and how you experience life. So just know that this is actually a time too where life might speed up, and you might want to retreat a little bit, and you feel like you're running around and you got all these things to do and people are calling you and communicating this, that, and the other, and you're like, I just need to rest. I just want to do my thing. I just want to go in. I want to just have some downtime, and wait till Aries rolls around. So essentially, this can be a time where you're getting a dose of reality of the mind, and whether or not your mind is thinking as clearly as it could be about what it is you experience in life, or whether you might be a little confused in certain areas, or confused about where it is you want to go forward and place your big picture. Or you might be tested with your own philosophy of life, and you might be confused where you're like, well, I believed this, but now I'm questioning that. So what's right? So all these things can come up right now, but I would say, this would be a great time to go in and tap into your mind by meditating and spending some time with some spiritual practices to help you work through these issues. So the next day we're going to talk about is September 13th, when we have the Sun in Virgo squaring Saturn in Sagittarius. And the Sun squares Saturn a couple times a year, and these are just times where essentially we have a few days where we feel the weight of the world on our shoulders. We have obstacles come up. We have some temporary frustrations come our way, and tough decisions need to be made. And essentially, we just need to be patient and stay focused on what it is that we have been working on. So the advice here is to stay realistic, not pessimistic, which I know I have a Capricorn moon, so I know that sometimes Capricorns can go to the dark side. So don't go to the dark side here. But essentially, you're going to be working out frustrations and obstacles around dealing with the fear of expanding yourself and going beyond what it is that you've been doing, and breaking routine, especially as an earth sign, you have your rigid things that you like to do. And now it's basically saying, all right, well, those routines that are so rigidly in place, it's time to let those go, because some of them might be self-defeating and they're just not working for you anymore. And it's also time to see if your own life's philosophies and beliefs are essentially holding you back, and these are part of the self-defeating patterns that need to be let go of. So it's essentially a challenge to understand your own hidden motivations in life, and how you can bring those to the surface to better understand them, so you're not your own obstacle, essentially. So take some time out if needed to connect with yourself, because I feel like this month for you, especially Capricorn, is really calling to go in, have some insight, have some meditation, have moments for yourself to understand what the hell is going on in your life, you know, essentially, because we all need those things. We all need that time to tap in. So the next day we're going to look at is that new moon in Virgo at 27 degrees Virgo on September 19th or 20th, depending on where you are in this world. And it's interesting because usually we have the new moon, you know, somewhat and the early side of the cycle of you know, Virgo or whatever sign we're in. But because we had 2 new moons in Leo, we ended up having, you know, our Virgo moon got pushed way back. So basically we're working on all these things the whole month, and then we get that new shot of vitality and that new renewal essentially at the end of the thing, which is kind of cool. So just know that you're going to be planting seeds and initiating projects and able to go forward in these areas that we've been talking about this whole time. You're going to be able to now open up to more, open up to having less control over life and taking more risk, you know, pushing those boundaries. In a sense, so you can step out and take a chance in life. So shift out of those old boundaries and those old patterns that you have in place, and make new ones that are healthier and more in line with your life's philosophy today. You know, your own personal philosophy. Because all month you've been working on that. You know, what is it I believe? What is it that I really truly connect with and value and find purpose within? So there is that renewal of your own meaning and purpose in life, which will carry you in to Libra season, which happens September 22nd when we have the autumn equinox, and we now shift into fall in Virgo land. So for you, that's going to be shifting into the area of career and legacy and how it is that society sees you and what it is you put out there for the world. So you're going to be wanting to focus more on more balance and harmony within your career and what you have going on there. And you're going to want to socialize more for increased recognition around what it is that you're working on, essentially. So balancing, you know, your responsibilities outside of yourself are going to be focused on as we end this month and into October. So, you know, Caps, this might be a little bit of a trying month for you, and you're getting your mind wrapped around, around where your mind's wrapped around, essentially, and how those beliefs work for you, and whether or not you are staying stuck somewhere, or how you can get into this this new, bigger reality that is more in line with your own purpose. All right, Capricorn, so what does the tarot have in store for you this September? Well, we have the 5 of Pentacles here as our focus, and the Hanged Man as the grounding card. And, you know, this kind of this reiterates what we've been talking about this whole video about. You're kind of stuck right now, and you're in this place of transition, and that's okay. You know, we all end up here from time to time, and we can get out of it. So essentially, it's how can you get out of this material hump? You know, you're in the same thing, doing the same thing every day. You become so comfortable with it that you don't even question it anymore. But now the world is questioning it for you, and you're feeling the uncomfortableness of it. You know, you might have hardship. Some of you might have been a little challenged in the financial realm, or felt like, you know, the world's against you in a sense, or you're feeling stress, you know, material stress, where you have all these responsibilities, you know, you don't have that much money, you know, you have not a poor me mentality, but it is kind of it's a poverty consciousness in a sense. And so this is how, with the Hangman there, it's like, how can I get this new perspective? How can I get myself out of this, you know, stuck loop I am in materially, and take a more spiritual presence to transcend this low level reality that I might be feeling right now. So if you're feeling a little lost, just know that it's time to gain new perspective. It's time to look at it differently, and become a master of non-attachment to things, which is interesting as a Capricorn because you like to control certain aspects of your life. But this is essentially asking you to detach and to observe and to find the patience necessary to get you through this hump, you know, because this is just, it's just a part of life, you know. And if you have things that are in your life that are a bit painful, now is the time to maybe let go of some of those things so that you can move on to a stronger foundation and just a fresh new outlook in life. And sometimes unorthodox solutions might be necessary in order for that to happen. So just overall, just don't get disheartened this month. And if you feel a little lost, that's okay, because the world is asking for you to look at life differently and to gain a new perspective around where it is you're going, what it is you want to do, and what you want to manifest in this world. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to connect with me to find out more or to get a reading, you can find me at energeticprinciples.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at Energetic Principles. I also have a podcast with Shauna McGrath of Neo Feminine Astrology, which is called The Feminine Principle, Astrology for Authentic Living. And that is a podcast that comes out weekly where we discuss what is going on in the stars, along with tarot cards and inspirational quotes. So feel free to stop by. You can find that on Podbean, iTunes, or YouTube. So, you know, I'd love to connect with you and hear what you're thinking during this September season. So please comment below with what is going on with you. And if you want to stay in the know, please subscribe to my channel. So I'm wishing everybody a fabulous September and the month ahead. And as always, may the stars be with you.